Well, it's 19 months and 2 days since I lost Allan, and this is just a wee kind of update. I normally record wee videos down at the cemetery, but well, sometimes the problem with going to the cemetery is that all your emotions get sort of combined in one sort of small space of time, and you go from the sublime to the kind of ridiculous, if you like. But recently, I don't really know. I mean, I've been thinking about a lot of things recently, like going down to Yorkshire and trying to kind of retrace Alan's steps when he grew up across the country, coming up to Scotland, seeing the places where he'd lived and maybe went to school and things like that. Try and get some semblance of the man. I knew quite a bit about him, but the problem is that when the legal shit started and basically his family just didn't speak to me. Although, to be honest, I didn't think they wanted to speak to me anyway. But when they stopped speaking to me, that meant that a whole sort of gap in Alan's life history that he would have probably told me himself has been lost to me. So I'm going to try and sort of put together the wee bits of information I've got and sort of try and trace him up from Cowling right up through High Bentham and Alston, Cumbria, back up to Scotland, up to Ayrshire, and maybe see a wee bit of the place where he had lived and grown up, and try and sort of see a wee bit more of what made the man. The other thing is, I was watching something on television today, and Alan had always spoken about the family would go out for trips out to the local viaduct. And I think I found that it was actually on a Michael Portillo's Railway Journeys programme. So it's when I checked it up on the Google Maps, it's only about 10 miles away from High Bentham. So I'm thinking that's probably the place to go. Fantastic viaduct, very popular, and they do steam trains on it as well, which is fantastic. That would have been great for us to go and see and jump on the steam train. I sort of foresaw that we would become a pair of older gay men who would do things like go and see like steam engines and classic cars and that stuff, kind of stuff. I like that. I must admit I do. It reminds me of a time when things were a wee bit easier, and I don't mean sort of emotionally, just kind of life was a bit simpler, if you like. So that would have been good for me, but unfortunately, no, I can't do it. So I'm going to take the lads. I'm going to take Dobbin and Spotty down. Dobbin and Spotty are Alan's toys from when he was a kid. That's them. Sorry about the mess, but that's the boys. Dobbin is actually older than Alan, and when Alan moved in here, I made sure that he must bring the babies, must bring the toys, because they are part of his history. Something unfortunately I don't have. There you go. Anyway, some days are good, some days are bad. Just like everybody else. I suppose I have to go on and live with it. But this is year 2, and apparently year 2 is worse than year 1. I heard that on the radio the other day on Radio 4, and even although the comparisons are not the same, because it was somebody who was talking about losing her husband who was a cop in the line of duty in Glasgow. The trauma, the traumatic stress, everybody goes on about traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's real. Not that I believe that it wasn't real, but I always kind of thought of people under direct stress, like service personnel and people, seeing blood and guts. It's not true. We're actually a lot more fragile than we think, and I always thought it was kind of strong. And it does seem to affect people who are like physically, like apparently very strong emotionally. Bad. But there you go. So I'm chuntering on. I just don't know what to say. I think it's got to the stage where Alan is always in my mind, always in my heart, and I've not quite yet reached the stage where I think that it's my fault. But I have thought that. Still think it's my fault that he died. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get better. But anyway, sometimes these videos I make just to sort of like tell myself I'm still alive, I still feel something, and that sometimes that the feelings I get, although I feel quite sad and distraught sometimes, actually means that I'm still alive. So in a perverse way, feeling awful makes me feel good. Don't know. Can't work it out. Anyway, I don't know. I just miss him so much, and I can't wait to be with him again. And that's as simple as that. I'm not going to hide it. Miss you, mister.